Hello, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but here we are again, just like old friends and old times. It's December, and therefore, in the spirit of Christmas, let's have another video. I offer you up the Timex Coca Cola Unity Collection. This is a limited edition that celebrates 50 years of their famous Hilltop ad. This is my first Timex. I'm very excited about this. Everybody loves a Timex. All watch aficionados, they want a Timex. Timex is where it's at. And this is a limited edition. Wait a minute. Wait. 1971 plus 50 years. That means that this watch came out in 2021. And we're almost in 2023. I got it half off. I paid $100 for it. And I think I saw this one video on YouTube where this one person said they didn't like Timex. Just a second. So it turns out, after meticulously watching several videos, that nobody likes Timex. People also don't really like Coca Cola because of ethical reasons. And the Hilltop ad isn't exactly very popular amongst people either. People find it to be a little bit cringy. I also watched some videos based on this collection, and nobody likes these watches. There are several models in this line, and well, everybody hates them. And out of all the models that they hate, this one, the one I bought, they hate the most. I'm gonna have to rethink this video. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Friends, this is the big one. The Timex Coca Cola 1971 Unity Collection Limited Edition. This video is basically what all those corporate fat cat bankers on Wall Street don't want you to know. This is a hidden gem, and people just haven't realized what this is. You know, they don't know what it is. They never heard about it because when Timex released this, they didn't make a big announcement. So people just didn't find out that it existed. And those who did find out that it existed, they basically thought, oh, there's no point in me getting one from a retailer because they're probably just sold out. But they're not sold out. You can definitely find these if you try. And they're not expensive. That's the brilliance of it all. And I have actually managed to get one for $100. I managed to snag one of the last ones, I'm sure, in my country. And now I'm going to unbox it. So here we have it in a cardboard box. And this is actually real cardboard. It's not cheap cardboard like all those terrible other watches where you get fake cardboard. This is real, proper cardboard. I'll tell you that much. And the box is very nice. It has these lovely 70 stripes around it. So I'm going to have it in my bookcase as a sort of a interior design detail. You also get, user information. That's customer care right there. That's Timex for you. They care about you. And the inner box is just as 70s as everything else. And you also get a little message here. And it says, in 1971, in the midst of a shifting cultural landscape, Coca Cola debuted a groundbreaking commercial featuring young people on a hilltop in Italy, teaching the world to sing in perfect harmony. With that same optimistic voice, Coca Cola presents the 1971 Unity Collection. So this is Coca Cola basically presenting to you this watch. It is a look at the past and a glimpse into the future with warmth, togetherness, and hopeful spirit. Now that's Christmas for you. This is why we're doing this in December, because this is the perfect Christmas gift for the watch aficionado in your life. And here we have it on a nice little pillow. Actually feels good. The spec here is basically a 38mm watch. with a tapered strap in metal. You have a white dial with a minute hand, an hour hand, and a second hand. And you have peace with a rainbow in the middle. And also, of course, the Coca Cola logo. Indices are basically green and red. In case of the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9, you have a bit of a black outline. Very nice. So you have a bezel here with a red pip. The indices look like they have loom too, hopefully. So here's the metal strap. It just screams quality, really. And this here, you know, if you run your finger down here, this isn't sharp at all. I mean, you can hardly feel it. Hardly feel it at all. Just be careful. Just be careful. So we have just a little view on the taper here. And already you can see that this has picked up some grime and fingerprints, but that's, you know, that's part of the whole. That's part of the whole experience. On the back here, we have a swatch-like battery hatch, and this is better. This is much better than what you get on the good stuff. So, or I mean, the other watches are, you know, more. People say it's low quality, but I say this is design. You know, you just take a screwdriver and there you go. You have the Timex logo. Reminds me of Omega. Then you have Coca Cola under it. And the 1971 on the back. So let's take a closer look. First of all, it photographs very well. So you can sit with a hot cup of coffee or tea or other beverage of your choice and just look at your Timex. Because it's your Timex. And you can think about Timex and Coca-Cola. Why not? However, I will say that this watch has... First, you may ask me, Mr. Jacobson, why haven't you given me the specs? You usually do that. You always say, the specs are as follows. But you haven't done that this time. Well, the reason for that, dear viewer, is that it doesn't really matter. Firstly, the movement is a quartz movement, and Timex don't even bother on their own website to specify what kind of quartz movement it is. Then we have the space between the lugs. That doesn't matter either because, believe me, I tried to attach a leather strap to this watch and it looked absolutely awful. If you want to know, the space between the lugs is 18 millimeters, but you're stuck with this bracelet anyway. So there you go. Furthermore, the most obvious issue is that the second hand never hits the indices. It's like it can't be bothered. If you have OCD, you're not going to like this watch. Furthermore, the bezel never lines up properly, which is annoying. It's bidirectional, so it'll move just by you looking at it. The clicking noise isn't even worth mentioning. You don't get sapphire glass, you get some sort of mineral glass, and it feels like a wet gummy bear. It will scratch easily, believe me. The case is polished with some brushed chamfered edges, but nothing to note really in terms of finishing. Then we have the bracelet itself. I went out of my mind trying to figure out how to shorten it, because of course it was too long when I bought the watch. Timex doesn't specify any instructions for this particular model, so you have to work it out for yourself. The trick is that you basically push that little pin thing upward and then you can take apart the bracelet and adjust it accordingly. However, this did take me some time to figure out. It was also quite annoying putting the bracelet back together and then inserting the pin again. Also, we have the price. $250 list. That is ridiculous. As I previously stated, there is nothing much about this watch that breathes quality or confidence. So $250 is just a ridiculous amount of money for this watch. But here it is on my 18.5 centimeter, 7.48 inch, or 0.000944 furlong wrist. If you're still watching this video, you may be thinking, okay, I don't want one. But don't hang on, because that might not be such a bad idea. It's expensive. The details are of such little interest, Timex themselves cannot be bothered. The second hand never hits its mark. The bezel is flimsy at best. The crown is unsigned and feels as if it would come off with the slightest touch. The glass feels like a wet gummy bear. Your only option is the bracelet that attracts fingerprints and dirt like nothing else. And while you think there might be loom on the indices, there only seems to be loom on the hands. And it's terrible. However, I will admit that after all, I still like this watch. But I'm speaking from a sort of survivalist bias here because I got it so cheaply. It's a meme. It's a joke. And for $100, it's well worth it. But not for list price. No way. I cannot recommend anyone buying this list. But then again, who does? I don't know anyone who buys a Timex watch for a list price. If you see this secondhand, or if you see it on a deal for about $100, then why not go ahead and pick one up, just as a joke. The meme value is quite high, and you may get a few comments about it because people will think it looks like a happy, cheap and cheerful watch. Myself, I've worn it quite a bit because, as I said, I like this little thing. The watch sits well on the wrist, and it has no date function, which is a huge plus. I actually like the dial design. Anything 60s or 70s inspired really floats my boat, and the logo isn't bad. Not bad at all. Well, dear viewer, it's been a while, but since the channel has been growing in my absence, I feel that I really want to get it to at least 1,000 subs. To all you superstars who have been viewing and commenting, thank you. I'm still Mr. Jacobson. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.